I remember calling one pastor, and I got his wife. And this was a district that I had been told would be totally closed to the idea. She had said, "Oh, my husband is a school bus driver, besides being a pastor. And he just told me this week, we have to do something to teach these kids the Bible. These children need something."
Our church had received a letter from Reese Kaufman, which we do from time to time, and there's one particular paragraph that just stood out to me in that letter. And the one paragraph that stood out was that his vision. He wanted to see all 68,000 elementary schools in the United States have good news clubs.
All the work had been done. All the materials were prepared, all the lessons were ready. The ammunition to be able to go forward had already been done. It just was getting the information out.
So we first approached different pastors, and God had already been working in their lives. So, all fear was kind of gone. Even before meeting somebody, the Lord was already at work behind those closed doors.
About 3 years ago, our church really began to dig into what repentance is. And through that, we began to pray and ask God, what do you want us to do? Let us not just make our own plans and programs. Let us do and work with where you're working. And so Sandy Myers from CEF, a volunteer, just came and knocked on our door and basically said, "Hey, we want to start a Good News Club. Are you guys interested?" And so when the Good News Club came up, and I heard what it was, you get to go into the public school, you get to share Christ with the lost world, I said that's it. That we've been praying for this, we've been asking God to do something, and it just came our way.
He thought it was a great program to try and came home and let me know that we would be starting this program. Well, at the time, I was in a very dry point in my walk with God, but as the school year started and the children started coming down the halls and the leaders were provided and the parents started coming to pick these kids up, God totally softened my heart and gave me a new passion and a new love, not only for serving Him, but for reaching out to these families, because every family has a story. Every family had hurts that we could see that God could fill.
My wife Pam suggested that the girls go to the Good News Club. There was a notice at the school they were going to have it, and suggested that Pam suggested to me that Natalie and Taylor attend. And I said, sure.
They come home with all different ideas of what they think is good about God and church, and the families can get involved, and then they can start going to that church on Sundays with their children, and that's how we did.
I got to know Pastor Dave a little bit, and then my life wasn't the way it should be. And I was drinking, quite a bit around the house. Spiritually, we're suffering. Emotionally, we're suffering. Our marriage is suffering. About 2 weeks ago, I was praying, and something just come over me. It's like my shoulders were just like lifted. I went to the mantle in the house, retrieved the Bible, put underneath my pillow, hugged the pillow, and just confessed to the Lord, save me. I said, help me, help my family, help my business, just my whole soul.
Basically, it was just a life-changing experience is what happened. Just to walk in those classrooms and see all those children. There was a lot of children in those classrooms, and it was just amazing to see that there's still hope. I just can't say enough about the Good News Club, because it really has changed every bit of my life, every bit of my husband's. My husband wasn't saved before this happened, and because of the Good News Club, because of Mission Community Church, my husband, Easter Sunday, gave his life to the Lord, which, is unthinkable. If you actually knew my husband, he is the last person on earth you would ever expect to come to the Lord, ever. He's got a tattoo of the devil on his arm, and he's already wanting to get it removed.
Since I've been there a whole bunch of times, it's been like, I love it there now. because I've got a whole bunch of friends there, and I learn about God and Jesus. I love learning about God.
It makes me feel like joy in my heart and joy in his heart, so that means we have joy like together.
It's just been an incredible thing that God is doing. We're seeing kids come to know Christ through the parents picking their children up. We're intermingling with people in our community that I never would have met, never would have been able to share Christ with. And it's just been exciting. God has been doing so many things through the Good News Club.